Hey, I'm Kev Hillman, and welcome back to Monster Energy Supercross as we're heading back to California and Angel Stadium for a second visit to Anaheim. And look at this, it's a rainy Anaheim as well for a second visit for the T50 West riders. It's Kev Hillman. He's not having the best go of it so far. He's getting better, but he hasn't won. He needs a victory. We're going to be right up there. Championship. It goes over the jumps, not the best jumps. You can see back end getting out as well as you go over the whoops and try and whip it out of the hairpin. Have a good jump section. That's good enough. So Anaheim will be a very different challenge here with the wet. So he makes that a triple. That's pretty good. And heading into the hairpin, maybe. Bit too slow. Makes a wide line again, losing that rear. And you're making that a double. Wants to try and make that a triple, so they don't lose too much momentum, but I'm not sure that's possible. Goes into the final couple of corners. Because we've got 3 laps, remember, get used to the track. And Hillman sets a 107.9. Not that you can see him because he goes over the first set of jumps, goes wide, gets pushed wide. This is pretty good. So he gets into the side of the 383. Now you've got to explore the gearing a bit more around in the wet. Tries going on the inside of the 47, gets pushed wide. Try and rejoin the track. There you go, just about. Now he's battling with a KTM, goes onto the Kawasaki. Look, I won't be advertising them, Hillman. Maybe on a Yamaha. Maybe the boys in blue. Trying to wrestle control from the boys in green, yellow, orange, all of them. In white as well. Blue with the Hasvana. So you go, can't quite make that a triple, but that's not bad. That run over the final jump, didn't case it. Here comes the 22. He just goes into the back of Hillman and slows him down. As he really slows the momentum over these last set of jumps. And he goes on to his final lap attempt. So can he beat a 107.9? Probably needs to be there to have a good qualifying slot. He goes through this first section under the bridge. And into the left, trying to control that rear end. Really sliding it. In a crowd favourite, no doubt, as here comes the 6, pushing Hillman wide. Goes over the whoop section, down the inside of Martin. He's not giving any space on his Honda. I forgot about the boys in red as well. Oh, Martin almost into the back of Hillman there. Oh, he's not making that a triple though, that's Auburn. Martin lands on Hillman. Hillman blocks him off. So this is not the best qualifying effort. Go down the inside into the left. Hillman setting his scores on this qualifying lap, while they're trying to set a quick lap. Goes into the hairpin, blocks Martin off though. Takes a high line, Martin goes down the inside. It's been a good battle this lap. But it's not a quick one, only a 108. As Justin Hill's at the top on his car, it's like he had the KTM of Shane McElrath. You've got Davalos, we've got Plessinger and Oldenburg running out the top 5 on his KTM. With Hillman, the second best Yamaha behind Plessinger. He's got just ElusiveKev Nicoletti, so he'll be in Heat 2. Not a bad qualifying in the end, but still loads of pace to make up as he's almost 3 seconds off it. With Bob Benson at the back in his Suzuki, so can Hillman find pace in the heat race? Serious high side, revving it up alongside the Coptus and Reardon. He tries to say bye-bye to the rest of the field at the stop, but not really working. Got to be careful this first corner. Look at this chaos. He's over a block. What the hell? He's crowd surfing on a motorbike. What is going on as he lands on someone, goes around the outside a couple of riders. He's up to 60, or down to 60. Goes down the inside a couple of riders, down the inside of Howard. And down block Shoemaker. Got Bob Edson in front on his Suzuki. Look at this, a mad scrap on his opening lap. As he's totally out of sync, being pushed here. Goes down the inside of Wilson and Gill. And Gill trying to get into the back of Hillman. Not having it though. As he is in 12, right behind Jensen and Hearn. And then he can see a transfer spot right in front in 9th. So remember, the top 9 get through to the main event. Everyone else goes through to the last chance qualifier, where the top 4 and the last chance qualifier make it through. So we've got Chase at the top, then Stephen. Dan Weirden in 4th, so he got ahead of all the chaos at the start. There's Shoemaker battling with Hillman. He now tries to get away from Brock. But here comes Brock, back at him. Side by side over the jumps, how they both survive. Hillman down the inside into the hairpin for 10th. You can see 9th right in front. He tries to go over the jumps, down the inside. Got Shoemaker, who's not making it easy this race. As he's alongside Hearn now for 10th. I made it down the inside of Hearn and Stephen for 8th. But now he's got Josh Greco in front of Michael Porter. He's not going to make that a triple. Makes it into a decent double though. Gets a good run towards the hairpin on this second lap. We're already over halfway through the race with how long the lap is here in the wet. Gets a good run into the final corner. Not a good run out of it though. And look at that case, that jump kills his momentum. Now Shoemaker's trying to make a move down the inside into the left. Hillman going to have to let him through, and now Hearn wants to take back that transfer spot. Hillman holds it round the outside. Tries to get a good run through the jumps. Into the hairpin, runs wide though. He could be out of the transfer spot. So is Makarov. Shane, our lead on the KTM. Hearn tries to get into the back of Hillman, who tries to go down the inside of Greco. That's allows Shoemaker through. He's attached to the hip to Shoemaker, isn't he? As he cases that jump, tries to make it a triple. Now he makes it into a couple of singles. It should be a triple-double through that section. Look at Shoemaker fly up to sit. Got Hillman behind though. Dan Weirden down to sit. They're approaching the penultimate lap of the race. That's a good whip. Through the penultimate corner. Tries to carry speed through the final corner. Now that 108.8. Terrible that time. He's 8.7 behind Jimmy DeCoptis, who leads. He goes through the left hand. It tries to get a good getaway, Hillman. But it's proving difficult in this race. And he's dropping way behind Michael Porter, 3.2 behind. Gets a good run through that sector. Tries to get a good getaway as well. Second, can't quite make that a triple. Makes that a double-double, does he? Yep. Now right back onto the tail chute. Block Shoemaker. Let's see, can he make this a triple? Just about. Looking down the inside of his friend this race. He's building a gap behind. As it looks like Makarov will make it through in 9th by the skin of his teeth though. For the KTM, for the championship front runner. He goes into the left-hander as we approach the final lap of the race. Maybe needs to get it down to first for that hairpin. Look at the poor run. As he does a 108 flat. That's better. He is right on the tail now. This battle for 5th. He's got Chris Howe there. And Hillman battling his way through alongside Shoemaker for 6th. Got Michael Porter in 5th, Dan Reardon in 4th. We go down the inside of Brock. Brock not letting him by though. As there's a horrible run through the whoops, does Hillman. And he gets into the back of Shoemaker. Look how much that killed his momentum over those jumps. He tries to go down the inside. Gets no momentum over the jumps. Needs that. Here comes Makarov now for 7th. Hillman gets a good run over those whoops though. Next down the inside into the massive jump next to the outside for the hairpin. Lots of cab momentum, tries to whip it good as well. And into the penultimate corner. Down to first again. It's like he's stolen. Sitfezzy right at the last. He has. Good battle there with Shoemaker throughout the whole of that race. So after 5 laps, it's a Honda 1-2 with Decotis and Chase at the top. And then loads of Yamahas. Look at that 5 in a row with Brennan, Reardon, Potter, Hillman and Shoemaker. Chris Howell in 8th on his Husqvarna, and in the KTM of Makarov just beating out Plessinger in 10th. He's having to go through the last chance qualifiers. Does the top Yamaha rider with Kevin Wilson at the back on his Suzuki. So can Hillman find some even more pace in the main event? It's up to level 110 now, and we get a new portrait, this time up to silver.
Southern California is home to many of the major teams and manufacturers who compete in Monster Energy AMA Supercross, an FIM World Championship. That's why winning here at Angel Stadium in Anaheim is so important. A win at the Big A can make your career. Who will step up and claim the checkers in Anaheim? He has the speed and is definitely the one to beat, but can he handle being in the spotlight and the pressure? Get ready. The gate is about to drop. Here we go.
So here's Highside running up at the start. He's in the middle, starting 12th. Oh, he tries to jump it. And the gamble does not pay off, but he could survive the first corner chaos. Let's look at everyone getting bunched up. And now he's into the podium places at the start. Battling for second with Dan Reardon. He gets side by side with Martin Davalos, trying to get away in the lead. Well, here goes Hillman down the inside. Does Highside lead in California? Not quite. Oh, he does! Davalos down. Michael Porter up to second. Jeremy Martin in third. Let's see what Highside can do in the wetland. Has he gotten better somehow from the heat races? Let's see. Brock Shoemaker up to third. Dan Reardon in 5th. By the end of the first lap, your leader is the Yamaha of Bye-Bye Hillman. As he's 2.2 ahead of Brock Shoemaker, the buddies from the heat race, leading here. As he gets a bit of a slide on through that left-hander. And a bit slow into the next left. So I'm going to set it up for the run over these jumps. No, he's cartwheeling. As Martin leads now. He's down to 4 by Michael Porter. Stay ahead of Martin though. As there goes the... It's like the Husqvarna, isn't it? With the Rockstar sponsorship trying to make the move. Side battling for second. No, he's down again. In the space of a lap, it is all falling to pieces. His dream here of winning in California. In the wet. As he's down to 5th. Trying to take the wide line, trying to have a good run over these jumps. He's way behind Davalos now. As you can see, top 4 trying to get away from Hillman. But oh, there's a bit of a mess up into the final corner from Porter, is that? Or Potter. Let's see if Hillman can take advantage. Down the inside, maybe. Under the bridge, not quite. And sliding it through the left. Trying to get a good run over these jumps. That's much better. That's what he needed the previous lap. But lands on Potter. Down again for the 3rd time within the space of a lap. And now he's battling Casey Brennan for 7th. Let's get out of here, Casey. He's behind Chase for sit. But Highside definitely found something. Definitely got the pace in the main event. Just needs to keep it upright. Once he gets to the side of the Honda, uses all of his momentum over the jumps. Needs to gather it all back up over the whoop section. Then for the big jump. Just get out of it. Out the throttle so you can set up the next part. Down the inside of the Honda. Not quite. Have to stick to the outside. As he's got Pleasanger's for Yamaha alongside and goes around the outside of Chase. And who did that to the blocks? What an idiot, as Pleasanger's gone down. And Hillman battling with Brennan down the inside. Under the bridge as Brennan goes into the wall. Very easy from the Yamaha as he's down to 7th. There's Hillman as he just survives the jumps. He goes through Weirden. Did you see that? Weirden. What's this ghosting he's got? Surely that's not allowed. But there goes Hillman for top 5. For top 4. He gets past Brock. Oh, and there goes Chase down from 4th. You can see 3rd and 2nd in front. You can see a podium. They approach the halfway mark of this race. It has been up, down, sideways, everything. But now he's battling with Brock, is he? Oh no, it's Aaron Pleasanger. It's for Yamaha. Ran out the top 5. Leader Martin seems to have gotten away as here comes Pleasanger diving down the inside in the penultimate corner. Oh, and there goes Hillman down. Down to 6th, is he? As he goes into the tight left. We've got Brock in 4th. We've got Pleasanger in 5th. As we are now halfway through this race, time-wise. But Hillman, so many falls. If he didn't have this, he'd be 2nd at least. This is so disappointing, results-wise. But very exciting pace-wise. He seems to have turned it up. Even though his fastest lap was a 109.9, which is not good. That's horrible into the jumps again. And that's allowed Dan Reardon to come back. Get out of here, Reardon. You're just costing us time by trying to slide. Hillman tries to slide it out the corner. Tries to get past Reardon, heading into the hairpin. He's got Chase behind and Shane McArthur's. What is Reardon doing into the penultimate corner? Just blocks. Hillman, who sets off fast at that 109.4, which is horrible that time. Want to be going so much quicker than that. And has to do it in the second half of this race if he wants that podium, if he wants the top 5. As you can see, Reardon trying to get away. I saw Hillman just survive in the jump. He goes into the whip section. Got around 5 laps to go here. In the wet in Anaheim, and he's catching Reardon down the inside into the hairpin. Now can I have a good jump section? No! Again, just touching Reardon kills his momentum there. Had to make sure he didn't land on him as well into that hairpin, else that's another momentum killer. And taking all these alternate lines is not good that time-wise. Tries to go down the inside of Reardon, tries to finally make the roof. What is Reardon doing? Just pushing Hillman. And he just has to back off now, sit behind Reardon. He goes on to, I believe it's the 4th from last lap. So that's the new fastest at 108.1. Again, needs to be in the 107s, really, 106s. He wants to make fight his way through the field again. Reardon running away. And here comes Shane now down the inside. Just battling. It's just not getting a break. Hillman wants to have clean air and get away from everyone. So he can chase the top 5, but everyone wants to get their boxing gloves out and have a good old battle. As he's got Brock now alongside him for 7th. Let's see if Hillman can make the move down the inside of Brock. Get him on the exit. Break early, try and get the cut back. Brock are not allowing it out. And look at Shane get away from the pair. Surely Brock has got to have common sense and let him through so he can catch up to the top 5. But no. Which is now Dan Reardon. As they've got 3 laps to go. And Hillman down in 8th now. But he's got a 2.3 second lead ahead of Chase behind, and someone's messed up in front, Michael Potter. In the battle with Shane, who's coming on strong in the second half of the race again. Just like in the heat races. As here goes Hillman down the inside of Potter. From no momentum again into the jumps, and there's Shane Makarov, and they go back into the top 5. Hillman trying to make it down the inside the KTM. But to go into the left-hander. Tries to make that jump as little as possible so he can get the momentum into the hairpin. Shane holds him off though. Looks like Hillman's at least made it up to 7. Now here comes Chase from nowhere. It's just a battle this race, and who hasn't moved those blocks in the final corner? No, that killed Hillman. As he goes onto the penultimate lap, now Chase is down here, so now Potter's just pushing Hillman. What an arsehole. Look at this, Hillman trying to make the corner and Potter just not obeying. Just not recognising he's there, and Hillman almost down. And Potter again not letting Hillman by. Can he do it into the right? Get on the power, Hillman. As Potter tries to land on him. So Hillman's up to 8th. He would be in the top 5 at least without all of these riders just not allowing him to battle. They're just trying to push him wide. And now Potter's just landed on him. No respect at all, and now goes down. Hillman, thanks to Potter. And now he's got Justin Hill in front in 9th. Hillman down to 10th. What a disaster the second half of this race has been. At least the first lap of this race was good. And now the rear end's just getting out everywhere. There's no momentum as blocks are now magically moving. He cost 5 seconds that lap, did Potter. And he would be right on the edge of the top 5 if he didn't lose all those seconds. Let's see what he can do if he can hold on to 10. He's got Austin Fortner behind in 11th. Surely this is the best he can do now. He's 3.4 behind Potter. He's just losing momentum in this race. So is Hillman, thanks to Potter. It's the battle for the top 5 looks good. Or for 7th with Brock, with Justin Hill. And Shane Makarov in 5th. There's Austin Ford at 1.9 behind. As here goes Hillman with good momentum, looking down the inside of Potter. No, Potter pushes him into the blocks. Just had him to his dickhead status on this final lap. And now Hillman's just been pushed in the air. This is absolutely ridiculous, the second half of this race. Because he's still got the final lap to go. He's alongside the Cottis, who you don't expect to be down here. He's now just pushing Hillman wide and pushed Hillman over. He's now in 15th because everyone is just pushing him. Seriously, Miles only thought this was enjoyable. As he's got Connor Patterson in front. As Martin wins by an absolute country mile. Hillman tries to hold off Patterson but can't. Because that run into the jumps. As you've got Jeremy Martin in 2nd, Aaron Plessinger in 3rd. Good result on the Yamaha. Got Shane Makarov up to 4th in the end. Great recovery from the KTM in the first half of the race. Got Dan Red in 5th, Justin Hill in 6th. Made all of those moves in the final couple of laps. Hillman trying to take 14th. Does he? That is so close at the line. As Martin wins on his house final, they have the Honda of Jeremy Martin in the Yamaha and KTM with the Yamaha of Dan Red around at top 5 ahead of top Kawasaki. And then we've got Austin Ford in 8th, Michael Potter in 9th. Mitchell Oldenburg rounds out the top 10 ahead of Brock Shoemaker. He got muscled out in the last couple of laps as well. Jamie Cottis in 12th, Johnny in 13th. Hillman does get 14th by 15 by a tenth of a second in the end, it says. That was not a tenth, surely, ahead of Connor Peterson. And Carl Chisholm in 16th, Jesse Nelson 17th, Nicoletti in 18th on Suzuki, Casey Brennan down in 19th. He was a front runner in the first half of the race. And we've got Richard Jones at the back.
That was definitely not the type of performance he was hoping for. He was never really a factor in the race and is going to have to find a lot more speed if he wants to win.
They need more than Guru Gary to calm him down after that result, as he should have had the top 5, should have been battling for the podium, but just when he was battling, just getting pushed over, especially in those last couple of laps, absolutely ridiculous. As Davalos leads by 5 points ahead of Makarov, and you've got Person Joe in 3rd, then a big gap to Justin Hill in 4th, Jeremy Martin 5th, who's level on points with Kev Hillman in 6th, 30 points back now. Surely you can't win the championship already after 4 rounds. And Mitchell Ollenberg in 7th, Jesse Nelson in 8th, Brock Shoemaker in 9th. Dan Riordan ran out the top 10 on his Yamahas. Let's scroll through the field. Let's see all the points makers. Got Thomas Wolfe in last in 27th. So very disappointing result for Hillman. He needed a victory, not 14th. As he looked through, his fan base isn't very good. Try to focus for the next race. I know you can do it. It says Austin Durr. As the saying goes, it happens to the best of us. So you're still our hero, says Hilda. At least he's still got his fans. Does high side after that event. Right on high side, says James. I'm not sure he actually watched the race. Did James Burris there. But can he bounce back by the University of Phoenix Stadium in Arizona next time out? Sound fortune. See you then.